What's going on, YouTube? I'm here in the garage, sitting at the console of my Triton with my two HDS 9 lives, and today we're going to be going over something really cool that Lowrance has coming out. It's the new Contour Plus maps from CMap. Man, am I impressed with these maps, and today we're going to talk about the advantages of this Contour Plus mapping over the traditional Navionics cards, which are great and I've been using for years, and the old C mapping, which nobody really used. It was just built onto the units. Stay tuned and we're gonna go over all the key features. So at the console of my boat, I've got a D-class ram mount with the Precision Sonar PMS, that's the poor man's stack. And it works great for me. I've got it cinched down so it doesn't bounce. But what I'm gonna be going over here is the new update. I've gotten a demo of it as pro staff. And as you can see from this quick glance, just the detail difference is amazing. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your card, you're gonna download it to the card. You're gonna have to do some formatting to it, but there'll be instructions with it. You plug it into your unit, and it took me about 10 minutes for each unit to update, which isn't bad at all. I just plugged it in, went inside, ate a sandwich. But here we're looking at Contrary Creek on Lake Anna, and I've hidden all my waypoints from you guys. So what we're gonna start with is the first advantage to the CMap, and that is this custom shading that I have going on. As you can see here, I have my 5 foot or less set to red, and then I have it lightening up as it gets deeper. And you can see that definite river channel there without having to have a yellow highlight like you have on the Navionics. These units are so fast that I think they've realized that they could download a high definition map directly on these. So I'm gonna go over how to set these up and how I set up mine. When I got these maps, the first thing I did was click around on some of the lakes in my area that I know pretty well to see if there was anything that stood out that I didn't know. And the first thing that I saw was a riprap bank that I fish a lot on Lake Anna. And it's in Contrary Creek, like I just showed you, but there's a couple indentations that I didn't know were there. And I think that when I go there tomorrow, I might be able to catch some off of those indentations, a lot like this year's Bassmaster Classic champion did on the Causeway, Mr. Hank Cherry. These indentations are shown with the CMap, and you'll see with the Navionics, they're not shown at all. We're gonna start with the Navionics. We're at the Contrary Bridge on Lake Anna. As you can see, you've got the old river channel. Oop, there's one of my waypoints. There's a rock pile out there. But going down the bank here, you don't see anything at all coming off of that. And if you've ever fished this, you know that there is some changes, but it's pretty standard for mapping in the past. CMap has now changed the game. Coming up to my CMaps, you'll see that right here, it dips in and then comes back out and then dips in again. That difference right there is going to allow me to key in and stay off of those changes without blowing it up with my trolling motor or spooking any fish that might be there. And I think it's gonna put some fish in the boat for me. That one right there, I had no idea was there, and I think I'm gonna fish that tomorrow. So let me take you to the next place that we see. It's right here. That point right there, I've always known it was there, and I've caught a lot of fish off of it, and a lot of people have not just go right over it on plane. If you look on CMap, or on the Navionics, I mean, it's not there. I mean, I'll even zoom out for you. It's not there. You come up to the CMap and you'll see that shallow area comes way out, and it's truly, where's that zoom button? If you come out, the end of it is in 8-9 foot of water. And that's a great pre and post spawn spot. I've caught a lot of fish on a Carolina rig there. Now I'm gonna go over how I set up these maps. First, you go into your menu and make sure that your chart screen is selected if you're on a split screen. Then you go to more options. Then you go to chart options. Then you scroll down to shading. I have depth 1 selected right now, but in order to change depth 1, you go to custom. And as you can see, you just select the points that you want. So I have 5 foot, and then the color, it's showing up as orange right now, but let's see if I can get it to focus. It's actually red. It's just the way the camera angle is. but I have it going from darker to lighter on depth 1. Depth 2, you can set up differently. On this one, I have going from red on depth 5, as you can see, red on depth 5, all the way from light to dark. So now I can go back to the menu, into more options, chart options. Oop, that's the detail. Scroll down. That's also not what I wanted. And hit shading and depth 1. And then I'll show you what my depth 2 palette looks like. That's what it looks like originally. So you can see how much the shading makes. It's still a high detailed map, but when it comes down to it, it's not too much different than the old Navionics. That's where going into your more options and your shading, this is what my depth 2 looks like. So it's just a little bit different look. I think I'm liking the dark to light better, but on some of my shallow reservoirs, highlighting that change right there might be good. Like Lake Chesden near my house, I think that could be really good there. So I'm gonna play around with them when I'm out on the water, but man, look at the detail. I'm gonna take you to another spot and see what the difference is. So here we have a set of flats, also on Lake Anna. These flats, as you can see, I have the fishing range set on my Navionics chipped from 5 to 15 feet, is highlighted in white. Man, you can really see how the river channel runs alongside over here and then comes and hugs that flat real tight. And as you can see, I've found some stumps there. And I haven't caught any fish there, but I've marked a lot there, and it's definitely an interesting spot for me that I'll go back to. Now, when I go over to the sea map, I don't even have to use fishing range. That just pops out at me. The river channel does a big swing. When I zoom in over here, you'll see that where I found those stumps is the point. It's off the point of that change. That is not super easy to see other than the old river channel highlight that's based off of government charts and old satellite images. This is based off of true sonar findings. So here we are on Smith Mountain Lake. This is a cove that I fish quite a bit. I'm not gonna name it. If you know where it is, then good for you. But as you can see, it's pretty simple. You can see a point that comes out right there, a little flat there with the danger buoy. Navionics does a pretty good job on this lake. It's a very popular lake, so they've got to be really accurate. You come up to the sea map, and yeah, you can see the details, but there's something blocking it. And what that is that's the flooded timber symbols. So Smith Mountain's a lake where they flooded it, and that's like 60, 80 foot deep. And so they didn't need to cut the trees down before they flooded it. But on lakes like Lake Fork or Sam Rayburn, Toledo Bend, those flooded timber icons are gonna help you drive your boat safely. But here's a cool feature that I've already figured out with lakes like Smith Mountain. Let's say you wanna get rid of that symbol. What you're gonna do is hit menu, more options, chart options, categories. You're gonna select the nautical chart base arrow. And you're gonna scroll down to land region. And you wanna uncheck that. Now, X out, and boom, you've got your high detailed maps. But what's that? That's not there. That looks like an underwater hump. Comes up to about 16 foot out of 50. I'll tell you what that's gonna be. That's gonna be a check out later icon. Navionics, on the other hand, that's the same waypoint I just dropped. shows nothing. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You guys with your HDS lives, go get this card. If you're thinking about getting a new unit and you're trying to decide, check this out. Go buy your HDS and you'll get the free card with it. Since it's already in stock in the store, it's probably not updated all the way. They've been sitting on the shelves or whatever for how long, but go get these cards if you can and play with your maps. You're gonna learn so much about even your local lakes. Like this video and subscribe and comment and let me know if you want more content like this. I just thought this feature was too cool not to be shared.